As a business opportunity to have Home Depot, Fred Meyer, Target, and so on to come into town, how do you welcome that opportunity, and where is Moscow prepared to handle a property of that size? If Moscow has a business opportunity to have a Home Depot, Fred Meyer, Target, or so on to come into town, how do you welcome that opportunity, and where is Moscow prepared to handle a property of that size?
I would welcome that opportunity. When Walmart was looking at the property on the east side of town, there was a rumor going around it was going to become industrial. And my neighbors over there by that part of property, piece of property, came to me and said, "We don't want industrial, but can you get us a Target?" I don't know Target that well, but apparently a lot of people here want one. So I would encourage it. On the east side of town would work. The bad part is you've got to bring all that traffic through the middle of Moscow from Pullman, who we love to pull over here as we've done for the last 20 years. If we're not careful, we're going to see all the traffic going toward Pullman for the next 20 years, and I don't think we want to do that. We've been very successful with the 2 malls we've got. The east side is doing a whole lot better, and that's great. But I would welcome them and try to make them fit in and not create zoning that would make them want to run away. John.
I also would welcome them with open arms. We've got some space, as Walter said, on the east end of town, the southeast end of town. These are companies that provide jobs, upper management jobs, mid, low management, and then they also provide starting jobs, people learning how to work. They pay taxes, they do not create a whole lot of mess, and the things that they provide for the city are opportunities for our people to buy things locally, even though the final profit leaves town. A tremendous amount of the sale profit does stay in town in the form of buying houses, paying rent, buying gas, things like that. So I would be very much in favor of any one of those that were named, and I think we ought to do everything we can within the rule book to help them relocate here.
Thank you. We'll be down to Nancy.
Actually, the City of Moscow has a new economic development specialist position, which I created. The idea being that we work closely with economic development groups around the community, around the region. So Chamber of Commerce, Lehigh Economic Development Council, Palouse Knowledge Corridor, Clearwater Economic Development Association, and on and on. We regularly seek out these large retail anchors and other businesses, the small and modest-sized ones. There's actually a new model of development that could allow them to fit very nicely within Legacy Crossing. As we look at some of the traditionally large stores, the big boxes so-called, that have the big expanses of asphalt and the frontage, you know what, it's far more affordable for a city to keep the development in close proximity to the core of town. It costs less for infrastructure and to provide services. And for those companies for whom it is attractive, that's another opportunity. Do we have room to grow? Absolutely. And the City Council and I are having meetings with the Board of County Commissioners next week to talk about area city impact development.
Bill?
Bringing that type of growth would be great for Moscow. And that's something that we have been, for some reason, has been reluctant for us to do. And I think that comes with a little bit of the complacency that we had that I talked about earlier. We lost $100 million in retail sales here in Moscow that has gone other places. Those sales are a variety of things. If you have a big store like that come in, it's going to create sales for other people here in Moscow as well, not just that one unit. The retail dollars go around and around. What we've done is we've lost millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. We know that. We need to get that back. Do we have areas for it? Sure we have areas for it. I don't know if the Legacy Crossing with the demographics, if a big retailer could afford with their cost structure. It's all about dollars and cents too, folks. You got to remember something. We got to get invited for these folks to come here. And we really haven't had that happen. That's what we need to change. But if we do that, and I'm confident we can, then it will happen for us.
Art?
So thanks. Yeah, I think bringing in large-scale retailers like that is going to be part of an economic conversation between the buying public and those business entities. Can they make a go of it given the population and retail desires of the people here? So that's something that we can provide the opportunity for, but whether they do or not is going to depend on them and what the customer wants. I also hasten to point out that there is another area where large-scale retail development can be placed that slid through planning zone. We've annexed in a good chunk of land north of the current loose mall up into the U of I's area, and it's now zoned motor business, and that is altogether appropriate to put large-scale retail right there with all the other large-scale retail we already have, right there on the border inside of Moscow. So by and large, yeah, let's poach some economics off of Pullman and bring them back over here to this side of the border. And yeah, we do have places to put them, but whether they go depends on them and the citizens.
Rebecca?
That's an issue that, of course, I haven't dealt with, not being on the city council or any planning and zoning yet. I'm not opposed to that idea. I think the things that I think about is when businesses come here are, you know, the jobs pay well, are the workers, you know, taken care of, and not end up on our, I was talking to a county commissioner, the county pays almost $1 million a year in indigent support because people don't have insurance and stuff. So those are, you know, some of the current concerns that I think of. But I guess I would have to, as a council person, get familiar with the planning and zoning and how these things create footprints and whether they fit, and how it affects other stores here in Moscow. So.
Okay, it's John's turn to go first. Question number 12 of the